We are going to go off grid, but there's a lot of misconceptions, people not sure about what will work, what won't work, so we're going to cover that all in this video and then give you some little hints and tips of how to get your off-grid setup perfect so that you can have the most fun and less stress if you go off-grid. As we go around, we'll be looking in some caravans for sale as well, banging on about the little iScooter, so again, video coming up on that soon if it's not already. Now, a lot of people like to go off grid but are unsure how to go off grid, what to do. So your very basics starting point is, if you're thinking about going off grid, there's two essential things that you're going to need, an absolute bare minimum, and one is a solar panel up on your roof. Now, a lot of caravans that are being produced now do come with solar panels, but probably 70% of caravans even being produced and that are out there haven't got solar panels at all. So that is going to be your number one priority, is to get a good sized solar panel, and I would go as big as you can possibly get, and that is going to give you the best possible chance to use your caravan successfully off grid. So really, at least an absolute minimum of 200 watts of solar panel, because what that basically means is that if you're using 100 watts of power, that solar panel is going to be able to cover that 100 watts plus charge your battery back up with 100 watts. So it's difficult to sort of say exactly what power that you're going to use, and the only way to do that is to actually get a little monitor to monitor that. But main things that you're going to be putting on is your little spotlights. Now, Swift on their newer control panels, actually it will give you a readout of what you're using and how many watts you're using. If you haven't got that, a clamp meter on your main electric cable, and again you can still run that with 12 volt and that will give you an idea. But a quick way to do it is, if you sort of go, right, I've got 10 lights at 5 watts, that's 50 watts. So it's again just adding things up. Your fridge, really, when you go off grid, you're going to want to use that on gas. If you try and use that on battery, it won't actually work off the leisure battery, and if it were wired in so that it would run off your leisure battery, it will kill your leisure battery within a couple of hours. So fridge, you're going to need to use that on gas. Hot water and heating, again you're going to want to use that off gas, but again they are going to use a very slight amount of 12 volt power, so it is going to run your 12 volt battery down very slightly, which hence why a 200 watt panel should pretty much be able to run your lights, run all the sort of electronic units. So again, your fridge is still going to have 12 volt power for the electronics, your heating, your hot water is still going to need power for the 12 volt for the displays, etc., but they're not going to use a huge amount. But realistically, just with lights and running your other items on the gas, you're going to be using around about 100 watts. So your leisure battery then is the next thing, is you're going to want something as big as possible. 110, 120 amp hours of leisure battery will be ideal, and that's going to be your best bet. So just for basic information, if you're sort of got 110 amp leisure battery, you'll times your 110 by 12, which will be 1320 watt hours. So 110 amp leisure battery will give you 1320 watt hours of usage. If you divide that by a 24 hours, so 24 hours in a day divided by your 1320 watt hours, that will give you about 55 watts per hour to use. So your leisure battery will allow you to run 24 hours without being charged up at 55 watts. So you can only have 55 watts of power in the caravan, and that 110 amp leisure battery will be dead in 24 hours. That will have used all that power up. Hence why, if you've got a 200 watt solar panel on the roof, over the sort of 12 hours of sunlight that we can hopefully get, we should be able to replenish that leisure battery up, so that will keep you going through the night when we've got no solar, charging that battery back up, and again allow them to sort of use it overnight at 100 watts, which will give you 12 hours of use roughly, and then the next 12 hours charge that battery back up. So that's sort of why I say 200 watts of solar, 110 amp leisure battery, 100 watts of usage. You can pretty much, as long as we've got some sunshine, be self-sufficient. But you have got to bear in mind then that sort of if you start putting inverters on, start trying to run 230 volt power, charging lots of phones up, running 12 volt TVs, that's going to reduce the amount of power that you can use significantly. The caravans are all pretty much set up, as I say, so your heating, your hot water systems, your fridge, all of your cooking devices, all of that can work off the 12 volt. And if we're going off grid and we've just literally got a leisure battery and a solar panel, that is all that we're going to be able to do, is run these items on your gas and then your lighting and 12 volt sockets off the leisure battery. Your toilet pump, so if you've got electric flush on the toilet, that is going to run off the 12 volt still. So all of your usable things within the caravan we can still use. Just our 230 volt plugs aren't going to be usable if we're just literally on a solar panel and a battery. If you want to get into the thing of using an inverter, realistically we're going to need more battery power, so probably another battery and then more solar panels to be able to charge up the extra battery power as well. So quite a lot to sort of plan out and think about, but realistically if it's just your lights and then the other electronic equipment just to be able to power the gas side of it, 200 watts of solar, 110 amp leisure battery, as long as we've got sunlight through the day, should be able to keep you up and running without any issues. And again, obviously if you're not using then the lights through the day, so leave all your lights off during the day, that means that we're going to use less power, and it gives us then more chance to use a bit more power. If you wanted to watch the TV on a 12 volt through the night, we can then actually do that and sort of save a bit of power through the day, use a bit more power overnight, and then let the battery charge back up again. And again, we've done that ourselves and that works really well. The other option that you can then go for is, we've done the Bluettis a lot, so the Bluetti power banks are very, very good, and again that then gives you the option to be able to run the 230 volt equipment, run a solar panel straight into the Bluetti, so that charges the Bluetti battery up, and you can have up to about 2 kilowatts of battery within quite a small little unit. And again, we'll try and link in a little video back to one of the ones that we've done on the Bluetti power banks previously, and again they're really, really good, and that just gives you the extra capacity if you wanted to use your mains power. So if you wanted to use sort of hair dryers, kettles, things like that, then that gives that opportunity. Again, you can get, for kettle, you can get the gas one that goes onto the gas ring. So again, if you're going to go off grid, try and use your gas more than anything else really. So, but a good sort of starting point is 110 amp leisure battery and a 200 watt solar panel. As long as it's got a bit of sunlight out there, that's going to keep you going. So hopefully that sort of covered most of the starting point really. Again, if you're using your gas system, making sure that your gas system is safe, so making sure that your regulator is correct, it's not too old, making sure you've got no gas leaks on the gas system. So again, ideally if you've had the caravan service, that should have checked all of that, and if you've not had the caravan service, probably worth having it done before you go using the Caravan Off Grid and using all your gas appliances, etc. So just a good starting point. Again, nice one that's just come in, so 2015 Eldest Affinity 554, 1476 maximum, 1323 as it stands here now, and 13995. Again, nice side island bed, nice washroom at the back, and this one again has got the Aldi central heating. So again, different heating systems on the caravans. All use about the same amount of 12 volt power to run the Aldi or the Truma, and again obviously your gas isn't really going to be affected on the hob and oven and grill with the 12 volt power side of things. So again, another nice one that's just come in. Little Rimini, so again this is fairly fresh in. We're a little bit behind again on the cleaning, insides, outsides, everything. We've had a fair few coming in, but we've got so many going out at the moment. We're trying to sort of obviously make sure they're all absolutely spot on. But again, another nice one. So 2016, it is 1450 kilos maximum, 1287, 13995 again. Really good price on this one again. And again, this has got the single beds, nice kitchen area, the big fridge freezer, and then a nice washroom at the back with a separate shower and toilet. So quite like the curviness of the unit, and again, nice big fridge freezer, good size. Again, if you're going off grid, it's nice to have lots of storage in the fridge. So again, another nice one. The motorhome. So we've had a nice little Gailey approach. So on Friday's video, if you didn't see Friday's video, I was talking a bit of crap on that. So that is popping up now. So go and have a look at Friday's video, and then we'll have a little shifty round at what else has come in. So another fresh island bed. We've not got a huge amount with the island beds at the back. So 1550 maximum, 2022. It's 22,995, and it's got the movers on this one. So again, nice fixed island bed at the back. So again, we're now trying to sort of get more stock in to replenish the ones that are sold and going out. So hopefully over the next couple of weeks you'll see a lot more hitting the website, a lot more sort of hitting onto our Facebook, Instagram and TikTok that Isabel's keeping on top of, and keeping those all up to date, aren't you? So they'll be coming in hopefully, as I say, in the next couple of weeks, and we'll start to get back on top of everything then. So hopefully that has sort of got you the basics of the going off grid on the caravan. What is going to use, what is going to work, how much power you're going to roughly use. But again, it's very difficult to sort of say exactly what you're going to use until you start using the caravan off grid and then getting an idea. But good leisure battery, good solar panel, and that's your good starting point to get you up and running. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If there's any tips and pointers, if you've started to go off grid and you've found anything and you're going, oh, actually this has worked really well, this has been better, let us know in the comments again, because it helps everybody. So do that please. And again, make sure you've hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. You've subscribed to all of our TikTok, Facebook, Instagram and all of that, and you'll see a lot more of Isabel over there on those ones as well. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching on Mark at the Caravan Place and Isabel.